Hi everyone, it's me. Welcome to today's video. Today we're actually going to be reflecting on every single book that I have read so far this year, and we're going to come up with a full comprehensive list of them, ranking them from worst to best. I feel like now is a great time to do this because as of today, I have read 52 books so far this year, which means I have just surpassed the halfway point of my reading goal this year, which was 100 books. I also did get really inspired to do this video by bestie Lottie, who actually did this video a month ago, a couple weeks ago, a little while ago. I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, this looks like so much fun. I want to do it too. So full credits for this idea go to Lottie. Definitely go check out her video as well. I absolutely loved watching hers. It was so much fun. But essentially how it works is today we are going to be pitting like this or that, two books directly against each other. And this website that I'm using, it's called Pub Meeple. It's also the one that Lottie used. After you do a bunch of rounds of pitting books against each other, it'll give you a full comprehensive list of everything that you have just ranked. So if that explanation didn't make sense, it all will very soon. I promise. It's very straightforward. It's not that complicated, but let's just get straight into it. So because I have read 52 books this year, Pub Meeple told me I will have to do 156 comparisons for them to be able to like use their algorithm and put it all into a list. So we've got a lot of this or that's to do. We're gonna kind of rapid fire today. And so if you're looking for like full length reviews, this is not the video for you. Definitely go back in time, watch my monthly wrap-ups if you want to see more in-depth reviews. But yeah, this is going to be very much rapid fire, just going over everything I've read this year so far. All right, so I've obviously entered all the books I've read into this little database that I've created here. So the first comparison we're doing is Dungeon Crawler Carl against Over and Over. This one's easy for me. It has to be Dungeon Crawler Carl. It wasn't my favorite book of all time, but it was entertaining. It was fast-paced in certain ways, and Over and Over as a magical realism reincarnation romance just did not hit for me. So Dungeon Crawler Carl wins this first round. Next up we have a thriller, Best Offer Wins versus like a feel-good romantic fiction. This book made me think of you. Honestly, this book made me think of you was cute, but I feel like I wanted it to dive deeper into the feelings and the emotions. We didn't go as deep as I thought it would. I was expecting P.S. I love you style emotions, and I didn't feel as much as I wanted to. So Best Offer Wins. That was actually a really fun unhinged read, so that one wins. Okay. This one's really easy for me. You guys all know I really disliked The Last Wish. So Midnight on the Celestial will win this one. Oh, come on. I mean, like anyone against Tolkien. I do love me an Alice Feeney thriller, and I did enjoy Rock, Paper, Scissors, but like The Return of the King, you can't beat that. Come on. Okay, similar, very similar. Shield of Sparrows had its things going on. I feel like the plot was pretty interesting for a romantasy, but there were things that really bugged me about Shield of Sparrows. Number one being the writing style. The blargs, the ews, and the ows, I think, in the writing style really threw me off. I also wasn't the biggest fan of the romance, and The Two Towers is just The Two Towers. So yeah, that one wins. Oh, interesting. Okay. Lightbreakers versus Dawn Shard. Lightbreakers had a lot of potential. I always call this one recursion if it was a lit fic, and I will stand by that forever. But Dawn Shard was so surprising to me because it's a novella in the Stormlight Archive. And I feel like usually you don't expect too much from novellas. Usually you're kind of going into them thinking you'll get some side information. You're just kind of living in the world a little bit more. But Dawn Shard was so good as a novella. Such a great, like, not standalone, but like self-contained story that had a full beginning, middle, and very satisfying ending, had full character arcs. It was kind of like a treasure hunt, pirate sailing adventure, and it was lighthearted, but also went deep into like feelings and themes with like disability in a fantasy world. It was great. So Dawn Shard. Oh my goodness, these two books are so different. The Jessed Heir or The Bright Years, to be completely honest, I was expecting to love The Jessed Heir. I was expecting it to be like a 5-star read, just judging by the things I heard about it, and there was so much I loved about it. But overall, in the end, I feel like the plot just didn't fully get there for me, and I think The Bright Years needs to win this one. That was kind of like a battle with like debut against debut though, because I'm pretty sure The Jessed Heir was a debut and The Bright Years is definitely a debut. So honestly, two really great debuts just on like very far different sides of the reading spectrum. Okay, The Elsewhere Express, or A Sky Beyond the Storm. So A Sky Beyond the Storm, this was the 4th book in the Ember Quartet, right? I feel like I always get these titles mixed up for some reason. I actually really liked how the Ember Quartet finished in this one. You guys know I was kind of like slogging a little bit through books 2 and 3 in the series, but I will say book 4 wrapped it up in probably the best way it could. Like, it was such a great conclusion to the series. It came full circle. There were so many little satisfying little bits being tied up, even with the secondary characters, and I feel like Sabatahir just did such a great job with that. The Elsewhere Express was a little bit disappointing for me because it was just a little too abstract. I wanted to feel just slightly more grounded, so I'm gonna pick A Sky Beyond the Storm. Okay, Dark Age or Finding Grace? Honestly, Finding Grace was a pretty good read. I think I ended up rating it just like a 3.5 or maybe a 3.75, but I do find I tend to rate lit fic a little bit lower. I feel like I have a bit of a harsher rating scale just because I'm expecting a lot more from a lit fic versus, I don't know, like a lighthearted romance read or something, but Finding Grace had some good things going on. I mean, it made me feel really intense emotions from like page 30, but I do feel like the progression of the story and the way it ended, I didn't really agree with like what it was kind of like saying morally. I mean, I have to go with Dark Age. Red Rising is one of my favorite series of all time at this point. So yeah, Dark Age. Oh my goodness, these two are so different. Okay, Homebound or Semi-Well-Adjusted despite literally everything. So we have Homebound, which is like a literary, speculative, not time travel, but like kind of like into the future type of a story. And then we have Alison Stoner's memoir. I enjoyed both. I do feel like maybe I got a little bit more out of Alison Stoner's memoir just because a lot of their experiences with being in the entertainment industry from being a child, I feel like I went through a lot of similar things, maybe on a smaller scale. I mean, for sure on a smaller scale, but I felt like I could relate to their story so much in so many different ways. And it's honestly like, I applaud anyone who writes a memoir because I feel like it can be so just like scary and vulnerable to like put yourself out there and put so many of your personal experiences of your darkest moments. I feel like that is just so brave. So I'm gonna do Semi-Well-Adjusted. Oh, no, 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 no. How? No, you can't make me choose. You can't. These were both 5-star reads for me. So we have The Fellowship of the Ring, and then we have Lady Tan's Circle of Women. Okay, so The Fellowship of the Ring is a classic. It is classic fantasy. It is Tolkien. We start our journey with Frodo, our hobbits, our entire fellowship. But then on the other hand, we have Lady Tan's Circle of Women that is so important to read as a historical fiction that shows so much of like what these women went through in the 15th century in China. There's literally no way to compare these two books. Oh, I might have to go Fellowship. I might have to go Fellowship just because it's like Lord of the Rings. Oh no, oh no. I feel like this is gonna get like more and more difficult as we continue to go through the rounds. All right, The Night We Met versus Wild Dark Shore. I'm gonna be honest, these two were both slightly letdowns for me. The Night We Met was definitely a letdown for me. Wild Dark Shore I still enjoyed, but it was still like a tiny letdown for me. Like it didn't fully exceed my expectations or meet my expectations going into the book, but I will say I will have to pick Wild Dark Shore out of the two of these. Love Me Tomorrow or Heat of the Everflame. Oh my goodness. Again, like such a wild pairing. We have like a YA contemporary, really cute magical realism romance versus like straight romantasy. Funny thing is, I feel like in both of these books, the protagonist really annoyed me. But I think in terms of plot, I mean, we just did more in Heat of the Everflame. We like traveled the world. We had so much fun. The plot was exciting. We had a cliffhanger ending. It's part of a series. I don't know. I feel like I'm just a little bit more attached to the Spark of the Everflame series. So I'm gonna do Heat of the Everflame. Okay, easy. The Hobbit or Apprentice to the Villain? It's gotta be The Hobbit. Small Things Like These or Rhythm of War. Oh, this one's interesting. Okay, I mean, like, Small Things Like These is probably the shortest book I've read this year, and Rhythm of War is probably the longest book I've read this year, so love that these two have been pitted against each other, but Small Things Like These, while having a very small page count, gave me a lot to think about, and then Rhythm of War, I honestly found this one to be my least favorite in the Stormlight Archive so far. It wasn't bad. It just could have, you know, gone through some more editing and cuts, I feel like. So I mean, I did enjoy it. Like, it's Stormlight Archive. I'm gonna like, you know, following the characters that I feel so attached to. But I think in terms of this specific pairing, I might honestly do small things like these, because like the amount of like thought that this small little book put into my head with so few words was kind of impressive compared to like what Rhythm of War did to me. Like, I haven't really thought about Rhythm of War since I've read it, so I might go with small things like these. It was a beautiful, haunting, short little book. Ooh, oh my goodness. Okay, The Someday Garden or A Stage Set for Villains. Again, two very different feeling books. The Someday Garden was so tender and sweet and feel good and magical realism, you know, like Ashley Poston whimsy, but A Stage Set for Villains was so creative. It was like magical theater meets fantasy. Both such creative concepts. I think A Stage Set for Villains does have a slight advantage over The Someday Garden, mainly due to the romance plot, which is funny that I enjoyed the romance in A Stage Set for Villains more than The Someday Garden, because The Someday Garden is like a full romance and A Stage Set for Villains is romantasy. But there was something about Jude. There was something about Jude. I'm gonna go with A Stage Set for Villains. The Poet Empress versus Future Saints, gotta be The Poet Empress. I mean, The Poet Empress was a reread. I recently just did an audio reread of it, but it hits just as hard the second time around. I will say it's definitely still one of my favorite books of all time. All right, Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter or A Day of Fallen Night. I'm gonna have to go with The Day of Fallen Night. I did enjoy Agnes Aubert. It was really cozy, really great vibes, especially if you're a cat lover, but A Day of Fallen Night was so beautifully done. And I just love Samantha Shannon's strong female characters, and I love how she explored motherhood in this book specifically, so it's gotta be A Day of Fallen Night. Clockwork Angel or Lightbringer, two like powerhouse series. Lightbringer was perfection, okay? So I loved Clockwork Angel. It was so much fun, but I'm so sorry. It can't compare to Lightbringer. Also, Clockwork Angel was like the first book in the Infernal Devices series, and Lightbringer was like the third or like technically the sixth in the full Red Rising series. So, I mean, it's hard to compare like sixth book versus first book, you know what I mean? But Lightbringer. All right, The Mask Falling versus Lost Lambs. I'm gonna go with Lost Lambs. I loved it so much. It was so just like compelling for me, so unlike anything else I had ever read, but I really loved the ride. Oh, we have Dungeon Crawler Carl back. Okay, Dungeon Crawler Carl or An Offer from a Oh, it's gotta be Dungeon Crawler Carl. I did not have the best experience with the Bridgerton books, although I will say An Offer from a Gentleman I think is my favorite Bridgerton book out of the first four that I've read, but Dungeon Crawler Carl. Okay, interesting. An Offer from a Gentleman stayed. I wonder how this algorithm is working. Like, how are we choosing what stays and what leaves? Okay, Over and Over versus An Offer from a Gentleman. Oh, maybe An Offer from a Gentleman, actually? Go Bridgertons. Best Offer wins or Iron Gold? Okay, Iron Gold. Midnight on the Celestial or Daughters of the Sun and Moon? Oh, Daughters of the Sun and Moon. I mean, it wasn't a perfect book. There were some pacing issues, but like this book, Daughters of the Sun and Moon, was so important for me to read. It was so impactful. Really, really heavy though. Midnight on the Celestial was a really fun standalone, like Caraval-esque romantasy, but like Daughters of the Sun and Moon was just so like deeply important. So yeah, that one wins. Oh no, oh no. Okay, yeah, I guess I knew this was gonna happen. Like, if you read full series in a year, obviously they're gonna have to pit the two books against each other, but how am I gonna choose between The Two Towers and The Return of the King? I feel like with this, we're essentially choosing between like Merry and Pippin's journey versus like Sam just being a hero, and I might have to choose Sam. Like, Samwise Gamgee, best fictional character written of all time. It's gotta be Return of the King. All right, The Two Towers or Rock, Paper, Scissors? The Two Towers. Shield of Sparrows or Rock, Paper, Scissors? Rock, Paper, Scissors. I love that we're repeating things now. Dawn Shard or You Did Nothing Wrong? Oh. Novella versus horror. I honestly might go Dawn Shard. I think I rated Dawn Shard, what, like a 4-star? But the more I think back on Dawn Shard, the more I love it. I'm like, how did Brandon Sanderson do all of this in this few pages? Like, I'm just so used to reading gigantic tomes from him, but Dawn Shard was so good as a short novella. I'm gonna do Dawn Shard, although like I did love You Did Nothing Wrong as well. Lightbreakers or You Did Nothing Wrong? You did nothing wrong. The Bright Years or Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. Okay, you guys know The Bright Years for sure. The Jessid Heir or Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. The Jessid Heir. Oh, we've got a Sabbath to Hear standoff. Okay, A Reaper at the Gates was the third book. A Sky Beyond the Storm was the fourth book. Fourth book wins for sure. The Elsewhere Express or A Reaper at the Gates. I might do A Reaper at the Gates. Both authors have stunning writing. I feel like Samantha Soto Yambao might have one of the most stunning writing styles I have ever read, but I just need more of like a contained story, like a physical story. I might go Reaper at the Gates actually. Semi-Well Adjusted or Dark Age? Dark Age. Semi-Well Adjusted or Finding Grace? Maybe Semi-Well Adjusted. That's kind of a close call though. Homebound or Finding Grace? You know what? I feel like Homebound was kind of like a beautiful journey that we went on that was very speculative and just kind of like, woo, we're out really far into the future, and it definitely had some kind of profound things going on, but Finding Grace just affected me so viscerally in certain moments. So I might do Finding Grace. Fellowship of the Ring or The Scholar in the Last Fairy Door. Oh, this is not fair. This is not fair to H.G. Perry. It just isn't, but The Fellowship of the Ring is gonna win against like almost every other fantasy. Lady Tan or The Scholar in the Last Fairy Door. You're literally making me choose between like two children. Oh, I knew this was gonna be stressful. Okay, maybe Lady Tan. Maybe Lady Tan. Why? Don't ask me for a reason why. Wild Dark Shore or Before I Forget. Oh, honestly, both of these books kind of surprised me in terms of like where we went with the story. I feel like Before I Forget was such a different take on an Alzheimer's story that it felt just really new and refreshing and creative to read. I might go Before I Forget. Hito the Everflame or Clockwork Prince. Oh, it's gotta be Clockwork Prince. I was like giddy and blushing and feeling like a teenager reading this book, so it's gotta be that one. Small Things Like These or The Hobbit. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Maybe The Hobbit. I just love Hobbit so much. We're gonna go Hobbit. Small Things Like These, Apprentice to the Villain. Small Things Like These for sure. Rhythm of War for sure. A Stage Set for Villains or The Correspondent. Okay, The Correspondent made me sob. It made me bawl. It was so impactful emotionally to me. It's gotta be The Correspondent. The Poet Empress or My Husband's Wife. Okay, The Poet Empress. The Future Saints or My Husband's Wife. My Husband's Wife. I really did like this thriller. It was my first Alice Feeney, and it actually like reinvigorated my spirit for reading thrillers. So it's gotta be My Husband's Wife. A Day of Fallen Night or The Ending Writes Itself. I think I have to go with A Day of Fallen Night. It was a really strong book, really long, but really strong. And The Ending Writes Itself was an enjoyable thriller read, I would say, but like it didn't do very much to me. It was kind of just like fun as I went along, but it's definitely not a book that I like dwell on. So A Day of Fallen Night. Agnes Aubert or The Ending Writes Itself. Oh, these were kind of both like 3.5-ish star reads for me. Again, very different feeling. And I feel like both of these kind of were similar in the sense that they both went from 0 to 100 really, really quick. I think maybe Agnes Aubert just like made me feel things a little bit more. Like it gave me a really cozy feeling where The Ending Writes Itself was just pure fun. Agnes Aubert gave me a little bit more like emotion, even though the emotion was just like loving cats. I might go Agnes Aubert, but that's a really slim difference. Lost Lambs or Lightbringer. Okay, Lightbringer. Lost Lambs or Clockwork Angel. Oh, this is interesting. I might go Lost Lambs. I might go Lost Lambs. The Mask Falling or Clockwork Angel. Clockwork Angel. Iron Gold or Dungeon Crawler Carl. Dungeon Crawler Carl has come up 3 times already, but we're gonna do Iron Gold. Dungeon Crawler Carl staying with us. Okay, we're doing that or Best Offer Wins. I'm gonna go Best Offer Wins actually. This book made me think of you or Dungeon Crawler Carl. Maybe Dungeon Crawler? Yeah. Fine. Oh, I chose it and it left. Okay. This book made me think of you or An Offer from a Gentleman. This book made me think of you. The Return of the King or Daughters of the Sun and Moon. We gotta go Tolkien. We gotta go Tolkien. The Two Towers and Daughters of the Sun and Moon. The Two Towers. I'm seeing a pattern here. Rock, Paper, Scissors or Daughters of the Sun and Moon. Okay, we're going Lisa C. We're going Rock, Paper, Scissors. We're really rapid firing here now. Okay, Shield of Sparrows or Midnight on the Celestial. Shield of Sparrows. Shield of Sparrows. The Bright Years or Dawn Shard. What? How am I gonna do this? It's a tie. I wish there was like a tie option. Oh, no, you can't. My gut is telling me to do the bright ears, so I'm gonna follow my gut. The Jessid Air or Dawn Shard. I'm going Dawn Shard. You did nothing wrong. Maybe Lightbreakers. Okay, Dark Age. I'm gonna go A Sky Beyond the Storm. It truly was a great conclusion to the series, but semi-well-adjusted will win against A Reaper at the Gates. Finding Grace will also win against A Reaper at the Gates, and Homebound will also win against A Reaper at the Gates. Okay, before I forget, or Tolkien. Tolkien. Lady Tan. The Scholar in the Last Fairy Door. Hobbit or... I quit. I quit. This is too much for me. I can't handle this. The Hobbit or Clockwork Prince? I mean, I gave Hobbit a 5-star, but it was kind of like, it just had to be a 5-star. These are such different books. Maybe Clockwork Prince. No, The Hobbit. I'm gonna go Clockwork Prince. Maybe just because it's like more fresh in my mind right now. Like, how accurate is this ranking actually gonna be? This is the thing, like, it's so hard to rank books against each other, especially when they come from different genres or even different subgenres. But I mean, between these two, this one's easy. Hobbit. I think small things like these against these two. Rhythm of War, yeah, sure. Apprentice the Villain, no. We're gonna go Heat of the Everflame. I think I'm gonna go Love Me Tomorrow for this one. Oh no. Oh no. The Poet Empress or The Correspondent. It's a tie. It's a straight tie. You can't make me choose. No. I feel like my experience with The Poet Empress is just deeper right now because I read it physically and then I just did an audio reread. I've actually heard really good things about The Correspondent audiobook, which I do, like, I get it. Like, imagine hearing the voices of the people writing the letters. I'm pretty sure The Correspondent audiobook is multicast, I think. So maybe I'll have to do an audio reread of The Correspondent to like fully compare, but I think I have to go The Poet Empress. But I love The Correspondent. Okay, it wins this next one. My Husband's Wife or A Stage Set for Villains. I rated My Husband's Wife, what, like a 4.5, and then A Stage Set for Villains a 4.25, but I feel like, again, these are so hard to compare. Maybe My Husband's Wife. Maybe. The Future Saints, no. A Stage Set for Villains wins. The Someday Garden wins. Lightbringer always. Oh. I feel like you guys are just like witnessing me go in a downhill spiral right now. Like an existential crisis. Lost Lambs or A Day of Fallen Night. Maybe Lost Lambs. Maybe. The Gnats. The Gnats. That's all I have to say. Clockwork Angel or A Day of Fallen Night. Maybe Clockwork Angel. Maybe? Okay, Samantha Shannon Showdown. I like A Day of Fallen Night better. I think overall I do like her Prior of the Orange Tree world, just slightly over her Bone Season world. Yeah, sure. I might go Agnes Aubert. The ending writes itself, yes. Oh, Return of the King. The Two Towers. Iron Gold. Oh no. Daughters of the Sun and Moon. Best offer wins. Maybe Rock, Paper, Scissors actually in this one. Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm gonna go Libby Page. Shield of Sparrows, I think. Midnight on the Celestial. The Witcher makes an appearance again. An Offer from a Gentleman wins. Over and over wins. Everything wins over The Last Wish. Dark Age or The Bright Years. The Dark Age. A Sky Beyond the Storm. Oh, The Bright Years. Dawn Shard? Okay, A Sky Beyond the Storm. You can take this one. Maybe Semi-Well Adjusted. You did nothing wrong. Oh, these two are kind of like almost basically the same. Or like in my head, like the ranking. Maybe Finding Grace has like a little bit of a leg up. These two books have a very similar feeling. I might do Homebound. Lightbreakers. Maybe A Reaper at the Gates. The Jessid Air. Somewhere Express? Elsewhere Express? I'm losing my mind, guys. Clockwork Prince or The Fellowship? Fellowship. Lady Tan. Lady Tan. Clockwork Prince or The Scholar in the Last Fairy Door? The Scholar in the Last Fairy Door. Clockwork Prince. The Hobbit. Small Things Like These. Rhythm of War. Heat? Before I forget. Heat before I forget. Maybe Before I Forget. I've been reduced to just grunts at this point. I'm gonna go Heat though. Love Me Tomorrow, Wild Dark Shore. Maybe Wild Dark Shore, maybe. Oh goodness, these were both kind of like, meh for me. I might do Love Me Tomorrow. Okay, The Night We Met. No. No. Lightbringer or The Poet Empress, you're kidding. You're actually joking. You can't. Should I just do like rock, paper, scissors, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, Lightbringer? You could ask me in 5 minutes and I would say The Poet Empress. Okay, Poet Empress for sure. The Correspondent for sure. My Husband's Wife. A Stage Set for Villains. Lost Lambs. Clockwork Angel. A Day of Fallen Night. Someday Garden. Oh, maybe Agnes Aubert's The Ending Writes Itself. The Future Saints. If it was a hot day today, I'd be sweating, but I'm actually kind of cold. What? No. Return of the King. Return of the King. These two are the same in my mind. These two are the same. Dark Age. No. That... I regret everything. I feel like that was blasphemous. The Two Towers. Iron Gold. Oh, this one's difficult, actually. This one's... I might go The Bright Years. Dawn Shard. Daughters of the Sun and Moon. Best Offer Wins. A Sky Beyond the Storm. Semi Well Adjusted. Oh, You Did Nothing Wrong. Rock, paper, scissors. Dungeon Crawler? Sure. This book made me think of you. I think. I'm really unsure about that one. Finding Grace. I think Homebound. Shield of Sparrows. Lightbreakers. A Reaper at the Gates versus Midnight on the Celestial. Is this even fun for you guys to watch anymore? Just like watching me have a breakdown on camera. What is The Reaper at the Gates again? The third book. I'm losing my mind. I'm actually losing my mind. Okay, Midnight wins. A Reaper at the Gates wins. The Jessed Heir wins. The Elsewhere Express wins. Okay, Bridgerton against Bridgerton. I choose Benedict over Colin any day. An Offer from a Gentleman. I'm gonna go over and over. I'm gonna go Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. Wow, you actually won one. Good job. All of these Pierce Brown versus Tolkien's are going to be the end of me. Lightbringer. The Poet Empress. The Correspondent. No, I chose wrong. Okay, Fellowship. Lady Tan. The Scholar in the Last Fairy Door. Clockwork Prince. The Hobbit. My Husband's Wife. Let's just finish this, okay? Let's just rip off the Band-Aid. Maybe A Stage Set for Villains. That was just fun. Small things like these are Lost Lambs, actually. Small things like these. Clockwork Angel? Rhythm of War. Oh, maybe The Someday Garden. Before I forget, Heat of the Everflame. Wild Dark Shore. Agnes Aubert. The Ending Writes Itself. The Future Saints. Love Me Tomorrow. The Mask Falling. No, I knew this one was coming. The Return of the King. Lightbringer. The Poet Empress, okay? The Correspondent. Dark Age. The Two Towers. Fellowship, I think. Lady Tan, maybe. Iron Gold, sure. The Bright Years, maybe. I don't know anymore. Where am I? We're almost at the end though. Dawn Shard, Scholar, Clockwork Prince. I'm just randomly clicking at this point. I'm just like almost randomly clicking. It's like just really quick, instinctual which one I go towards first. The Hobbit, My Husband's Wife, A Stage Set for Villains, Best Offer Wins, Lost Lambs, A Sky Beyond the Storm, small things like these. I really don't know, guys. Rhythm of War, A Day of Fallen Night, Rock, Paper, Scissors, Someday Garden, Dungeon Crawler. Before I forget, this book made me think of you. Finding Grace, Heat of the Everflame. I actually have no idea how these rankings are gonna turn up, like the final list from worst to best. Homebound, Agnes Aubert, The Ending Writes Itself, Shield of Sparrows, The Future Saints, Lightbreakers, Midnight on the Celestial, Love Me Tomorrow, A Reaper at the Gates, The Jessed Heir, The Mask Falling, maybe The Night We Met, The Elsewhere Express, Apprentice to the Villain. We did it. We did it. We did it. Okay, are you guys ready to go through our rankings from 52 to number 1? Okay. All right, bottom of the barrel. Number 52 out of 52 is The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski. I think we all knew that coming. That was my one star of the year. Right above that, we have Romancing Mr. Bridgerton by Julia Quinn, then Over and Over, and then An Offer from a Gentleman, and then Apprentice to the Villain. So those are my bottom 5. We then have The Elsewhere Express, The Night We Met. Oh my goodness, I can't believe The Night We Met is so low because that was one of my most anticipated releases of the year, and honestly it was a little bit of a letdown for me, but I'm kind of sad to see Miss Abby down at 46. I would have expected that to be like top 20 at least, but unfortunately it just didn't live up. The Mask Falling is number 45, and then at 44 we have The Jessed Heir, A Reaper at the Gates, Love Me Tomorrow, Midnight on the Celestial, Light Breakers, The Future Saints, Shield of Sparrows, The Ending Writes Itself, Agnes Aubert, Homebound, Wild Dark Shore, Heated the Everflame, Finding Grace, This Book Made Me Think of You, and at number 30, Before I Forget. I think those all track. Those were kind of like my middle tier books, I would say. And then from 29 upwards, so these books are definitely books that I could say I enjoyed confidently. At 29, Dungeon Crawler Carl, The Someday Garden, Rock, Paper, Scissors, A Day of Fallen Night, Rhythm of War, Clockwork Angel, You Did Nothing Wrong, Semi Well Adjusted, Small Things Like These. Okay, that was 30 to 21. From 20 upwards, these are probably all going to be books I loved. Yes, they are. Okay, A Sky Beyond the Storm, Lost Lambs, Best Offer Wins, A Stage Set for Villains, My Husband's Wife, The Hobbit, Daughters of the Sun and Moon, Clockwork Prince, The Scholar and the Last Fairy Door, and then Dawn Shard. And then now to get into the top 10. Are you guys ready? Okay, in 10th place, we have The Bright Years by Sarah Damoff. Yeah, I think this one fits. It was definitely a beautiful book. The more I think back on the book, the more I'm just like, wow, that was truly really beautiful. So I do think it does deserve its spot in the top 10. Number 9 is Iron Gold by Pierce Brown. Definitely very deserving. This was the start to arc 2 of the Red Rising series, and I do think it really was that good. Number 8 is Lady Tan's Circle of Women by Lisa C. My first book from Lisa C, and the book that spurred me to like read more of her backlist. I definitely want to get more into her books. I feel like she does historical fiction very, very well. If you're like a Kristen Hanna fan, I feel like you would love Lisa C. In 7th place is The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien himself. I mean, obviously I loved this book. I do think The Two Towers and The Return of the King were stronger than The Fellowship of the Ring. It's definitely a bit lighthearted. It's kind of like a perfect mix of like The Hobbit and the rest of like the main trilogy, because I feel like while it is obviously more adult reading than The Hobbit, it still does keep its sense of whimsy and humor and fun. And like as we progress through the trilogy, it gets darker and darker and darker. Or I shouldn't say trilogy. I know it's technically not a trilogy, it's 3 volumes, but you know what I mean. Like as we go on through the Lord of the Rings books, they get darker and heavier, but The Fellowship of the Ring keeps its like little feeling of whimsy, and that's really fun about it. In 6th place though is The Two Towers. I loved this one. So funny though, because as a kid, I didn't really like The Two Towers movie. I always thought it was really boring as a kid, but honestly, rewatching it and then reading it as an adult, I'm like, this story is so good. Like the themes with, you know, like nature fighting back, I think is so good. Just the things that I don't know, like Frodo and Sam go through. This is kind of like the start of like their arc. And when they encounter Gollum and everything, I don't know. There's a lot to this one that's great. In 5th place is Dark Age by Pierce Brown. So great, so bleak, so dark. In 4th place is The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. Definitely deserves to be way up high there. In 3rd place is The Poet Empress by Shen Tao. I mean, it was good enough for me to reread it so soon. I read it physically in November, and then then at the start of this year, I was like, I already want to reread this book. And I just finished my audio reread of it. And yeah, it's almost even better the second time around because you are able to pick up on things that you hadn't picked up on the first time around. And I feel like that is what really shows you that a book is good. Like if you can reread it and it is just as good or even better on the reread, you know it's been written well. Number 2 is another Pierce Brown book, Lightbringer. So yeah, I mean, this was just perfection. I need Red God immediately. And then number 1, you guys probably already guessed it, The Return of the King. Samwise Gamgee, he deserves to be a number 1, honestly, just for his art. Yeah, I mean, I think that list makes sense to me, having my top 10 be filled with just Red Rising books and the Lord of the Rings books, with a couple of great standalones in there, like The Correspondent, The Poet Empress, Lady Tan's Circle of Women. I think that really fits. That really speaks to like a Jamie top 10. I think this was really accurate. So that being said, that was my full list of 52 books read so far this year, ranked from worst to best. I had a really hard time with some of those pairings. I mean, you guys saw this was difficult, but it was honestly also really fun and a really fun creative way to like get this ranking. I feel like without doing these kind of side-by-side pairings, it would have honestly been impossible for me to actually craft that list from 52 to 1. So I honestly love this Pub Meeple tool. Maybe I will use it again. So thank you, Lottie, again for showing this tool to me through your YouTube video and inspiring me to do one of my own. I will link the Pub Meeple ranking engine down below if you guys also want to use it to make your own ranking. Let me know if you do end up doing it. Let me know what your like 1 to 5 are, like what they end up being. But that being said, there is our ranking for the books I've read so far this year. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a like and a comment. If you don't know what to comment down below, and if you don't want to do the Pub Meeple like full ranking, just maybe let me know what was your worst book you've read so far this year and what was your favorite book you've read so far this year. If you like me, subscribe, do that bell thing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!